Oh, they're both playing Liberator. You can just put Liberator. Or Scheherazade. Either
Oh,
way.
he spelled it right. First try.
Yeah.
I totally want him to put Charizard there.
We did earlier.
Oh.
Yeah.
People got a kick out of it. Okay, so the top four consist of Sinjin, is it Sinjin Michaels, Andy Tam, Ken Tober, and Brandon Noland. So three of these gentlemen will be going to Japan, and sadly one will be our
Fourth place.
our bubble boy, which is very, very lonely.
I'm the bubble girl.
You're the bubble
I got
girl?
65th.
Oh
Yeah.
no,
Oh.
that's horrible.
The prizes.
Yeah.
I will
Glory.
say this about Brandon's deck. I had just watched in the last round him play against Odgro. He said he didn't have problems with his deck against Odgro all day long. He just tore him apart, and I saw why. Like,
Yeah.
it's a great deck for countering against the.
It's a very different build
Yeah,
I haven't
yeah.
seen. It's interesting because I played Brandon round 2 with the same deck Ken's playing right now.
It's actually
So
pretty very close to being the exact same deck.
You can verify right now.
not if I remember correctly, he is running mostly, I think, like smaller guys.
Yeah, he's running
is
a lot
wired
of
up.
smaller
Yeah,
guys.
his win condition was a lot of small guys
Wait.
with seeks to pump.
His
Yeah.
answer to Blazer is always be ready, always block.
It was
That
interesting. I
was-
think he's only playing one Mephistophelies, oh, two Mephistophelies, and
Yeah.
only
Mephistopheles? Yeah. He is playing two Binder Gravity main, so that's actually really good.
yeah, he sided those out against me. So I'm wondering if he's going to do something similar.
Appreciate it, sir.
That's funny.
I think Ken's feeling kind of confident because being that I already played him earlier,
To be honest,
I did lose to Brandon
So,
with the same deck. So.
well, Ken does have the option to play first. So,
I'm gonna swear at my
going with the option to play first is pretty huge.
I'm a little upset that Bloody Snow White didn't get any higher. It
Oh,
was,
man.
it
Did
was
it
such
lose
a
out?
beautiful
Hey,
deck.
Oh.
top 8. I mean, Mike lost pretty quickly, but still, for a Bloody Snow White deck to make top 8,
Oh
that's
no,
pretty- you know what I'm
That's
saying?
awesome.
Of it.
pretty
The
good.
players are really going to enjoy that, I'm sure.
when they see the deck list, they're going to be like, "Why didn't we think of this? This is completely new." Italy, Japan,
You
they're
know,
all
we-
going to be all about this.
We tried a Bloody Snow White with were-rabbits, and it was actually pretty cool.
I was pulling a mono red.
We'll see whenever
Flipping
he
it.
said when he was playing Bloody Grim, I thought he was going to be playing something like Werewolves
Yeah.
and everything else, kind of doing that package with like Bloody Snow White. Because, I mean, you can just kind of get in there out of nowhere. It's like Lugaroo, play a Poison Apple, get there. But it was a completely...
His list
it was-
surprised me, and I
yeah.
can't. I'm going to let the hype sit for itself when people see this list.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure people will build it and test it. And all right, so we're cut. We're ready to go. This is going to be interesting.
4? Yeah. Okay.
Same ruler, two pretty different builds.
Yeah. So Brandon's going to mull 4 here.
Looks like he's got that Mephistopheles in hand to start.
Yep, yep, yep.
Active player should do that first, right? Or turn player should do it first? Or does it? I guess it doesn't really matter. No, we reveal at the same time, but I don't know if the triggers have to resolve independently for any reason. I doubt it matters, right? Yeah, I don't think that matters. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem.
Just, man, I
Yeah, absolutely.
strive. I'm trying to keep it on the up and up, bro.
It probably does have some sort of sequence for who technically is the person.
Though it's not exactly explicitly stated, the person who's already determined to be going first should be revealing and
Yes.
doing the stack in that order.
Yeah.
Call stone.
So I'll tilt this over so you guys can also see it as well. All right, so Ken went ahead
Ken
and
calling
called
his red-black.
Yep.
That is a one of
Called
in
the
his
Scorches.
list.
That is okay.
Yeah. That's pretty much what we've been calling turn 1.
And of
Okay.
course, everyone's favorite booty cat.
Booty cat. Actually, he's only running blue for the cats.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, he's running 2 Deep Woods.
it's pretty easy to splash that when
Yeah, you
Liberator of Wind
with,
is your
yeah. When you
ruler.
start with perfect mana, it's pretty hard. So we have Laura going into Carmilla.
I was actually a little surprised at how much he was just ignoring splits. He just, okay, resolve, take 15. I'm still going to beat you during the last round. He just wasn't that worried. Life is a resource is a tactic.
Right. So Brandon looks like he has Cake Zone in hand, Zeke's in hand.
Ken's got a cake zone, some Flame of the Outer Worlds. Hard to see
Yeah,
what
we
else.
Combat. Yeah.
Yep.
Bring in 3.
All right, Brandon takes 3.
Yep.
That's what he follows up
I've got
with.
7. I'll press 2.
Yep. So Brandon has a feasting in hand. He's probably going to thunder the boar here.
Cast Thunder, target board.
Yep.
How many cards in hand?
So he has double
What Ken's
feasting.
considering here.
I love his play technique. He always, before he makes a decision, asks his opponent, gets all the information as possible, and then decides.
Are you speaking of Ken?
I guess I'll
Yeah.
respond.
Yeah, it's this is Kathy. We have Kathy and Shaughnessy Connor in the booth as well.
Ken's been playing card games for almost 20 years, I'd say. And
Yeah.
I think he's developed that habit.
It's a good habit to be in if you want to be competitive.
All right, here we go.
Cast those, target target.
Yep.
Oh,
Stories.
1001
feasting.
stories on feasting.
There's also
Floating that data.
It's
Having
always-
knowledge of that many cards in hand is really powerful right here.
Yep.
It's also a great thing to remove feasting from a controller style deck.
Well,
because
he's
it'll
controlling
protect-
his resources right now,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it's really good. I mean, double feasting. He did float a red, so
Yep, good on this.
he has Thunder. Yeah, Thunder, Cake Zone, Carmilla. Yep.
Something that came up in the event today that players may find interesting, if you do find all of the search targets in the main deck, you still get to look at their hand.
Yep.
It's part of the resolution of the card.
You fulfill
Makes 1001
all
stories
part of the
awesome.
game. Yeah, it's the information you gain is pretty
Yep.
pretty powerful.
Who shuffles after that? I shuffle and then present to him, or you shuffle and present to me? Am I done now, or does he need to touch it once more? Okay.
Pass turn.
Yep.
All right, so
He's got cat.
looks like you drew Mephistopheles.
That would be the second one then? Or maybe it's the same one he had to start.
I mean, he can stick a Mephistopheles here, but it's,
He's gonna have to
just
tap
one-
out to do it.
yeah. Well, we don't hit it if he has a. I
Yeah.
wouldn't do it because I mean it's one of those things like if Brandon just has.
He needs another black too. And he got it.
Yeah. I'm just saying if Brandon had another one of the 2000 or the 1001 stories,
Oh, yeah.
getting Mephistopheles Rick would basically be game. Okay, so 1001 stories. What it does is if your controller, if your ruler is a Liberator of Wind, you get to basically remove that Resonator from the game. Then you search your player's hand, graveyard, and library for all copies, and remove them from the game.
And if you're not playing Liberator, it just goes on top of
Yep,
the deck.
it just puts it on top of the deck.
Under you.
Same if Liberator becomes an Astral Ruler, then it would
Yep.
just go on top.
32.
Yep, a lot of people forget about that. Once Scheherazade has been destroyed,
Mhm.
1001 stories does not actually trigger, or it doesn't actually
Search.
completely resolve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Its original effect is still sometimes potent, especially if
Yeah,
your
so, I
opponent's
mean, yeah,
about
don't
to
get me wrong,
blazer
it's-
you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Remove it from the game where it can be recast, or put it on top of the deck where they have to redraw then recast.
Yes.
Actually,
Yes.
no, no, I meant to go on my end phase. But no, I didn't. No, I didn't.
Which one? Who's very, very quiet?
Um,
Is it me or is it the guy that's to my
after
right?
results. Yeah, storage.
So that's 1001 stories on feasting. Oh wow,
Ah.
that is a lot of reactionary. And so we have Thunder, double Cake Zone, Exceed, and then double Mephistopheles.
Yep, that's it. He's got, yeah.
Yeah, let's go ahead and turn us up, Trevor. We should be good. That's
And
a
of
very
course, note taking during a match completely legit, especially when you get this much information.
Yeah.
I don't know of a card in the game right now that gives you hand information like 1001 Stories.
Not currently, but we are looking forward to Nyarlathotep's Resonator in Millennia of Aegis. It's going to give you the ability to select and discard an effect. So you get to look at their hand, select something, and remove it. Which will give Darkness and Fire kind of a boost in that option of control.
I did it, right? Okay.
Because Darkness and Fire needed more help, right? No.
Wind needed something to parallel it at the very least.
Yeah.
Yeah. This will be this is going to be a very interesting match.
Gotcha. That was at the end of my
So
turn.
now I
So.
shuffle. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead, man.
Take these.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no problem. Just
Also, in case
Make sure
the
you
stream
don't,
doesn't know,
bring them back.
the loser of this
I do
match
like
will
that
actually
card.
get
I do
another
like that
chance to play because the losers in the semifinal matches will be playing for third place. We will not leave that up to tiebreakers. So either one of these gentlemen will have a second shot. Brandon wants to. He wants to stick a Mephistopheles so bad, but he can't protect it right now. So
Ken's only got 1 mana showing, so he knows he can resolve pretty much anything.
pretty sure he's gonna flood the board. I'd flood the board. A little small stuff.
That's what his deck does.
Yep.
And he gets card advantage off of it, so.
He's also very picky about using those cats for what they're intended for. Just a little bit of a card draw and a lot of bit of just take care of your opponent's small stuff.
Interestingly, with Ken's deck, he's not really running anything small. I believe Laura, well, he runs his own cats, but Laura is going to be bigger than just an attack. He'd have to sacrifice the cat to get rid of the Laura.
Well, yeah, I saw him playing it specifically for taking care of the March Hare. Or the,
Yes.
it's a beautiful removal.
That's some good value there.
There we go. There's a thunder to the face.
Thunder to the face. He takes it.
Yep. Ken jumps to 35.
Ken is pretty religious on taking direct damage that isn't lethal. And saving counters for late game.
Yeah, life is a resource.
Yep. Do we know what the other 2 rulers are in the other top 4 match?
The other 2 rulers. Let's pull it up.
Draw from my turn.
Mhm.
Before I unpress.
Abdul and
Pass home.
Pandora the Dark, or Pandora Dark.
Oh, okay. So we don't have any Grimlists in the top
Nope.
4.
They
Very,
got 8 up. They got paired against the Scheherazade players and got knocked out.
very interesting change from last week's Los Angeles event. No Bahamut, no Grim.
Nope. All got knocked out.
Strong.
That isn't to say the
So
field
strong.
today didn't have a plenty amount of
Yeah.
Bahamut players.
Oh yes, I faced 2 of them.
They just had trouble getting in.
I think Mono Red Aggro is, or Mono Red Burn, I should say, is a deck that takes a lot more skill than it seems at face value. It takes a very talented player to pot those decks at most efficiency.
That's a griddle. So we'll have a trigger.
Really impressed to see Nyarlathotep, 3 Musketeers, Kane players,
I
and they
saw
were
a couple Puss in Boots rulers.
they were putting up some scores, and quite a few people playing Grimia. They just making that cut.
So Ken has a lot of magic stones in play, not a whole lot of board
Boards.
presence.
And this is kind of what Brandon's deck keeps getting in, because do you block a little thing? Do you try and waste a removal on that? Or do you have to save it for Mephistopheles or something
Mhm.
larger?
The elegant thing with Ken's deck as well is we play all of the quick cast resonators and many, many instants, so you don't really need to do a whole ton on your turn if you don't want to.
Is that Carmilla?
Mhm.
Not
Well,
gonna
Carmilla,
resolve.
Queen of Vampires.
Exceeded.
Well, the one thing Ken does have going for him versus a weedy kind of esque build that Brandon's running is that he does run 3 zeros.
0, yep.
Yes.
Very awesome play to respond with the Zeeks on them,
Hmm.
on the chase. Wipe the board. It's very powerful. He's holding a couple cake zones, it looks like.
I'll attempt to counter or exceed.
It looks like
And cake to cake.
looks like Ken's got like 4 Flames of the Outer World in hand.
Yep.
Is that what that is?
Well, it's like double Mephistopheles, Flame of the Outer World.
In Ken's hand or in Brandon's
In
hand?
Ken's hand.
Ken doesn't run
Does he not?
however you say it. Mephistopheles.
Mephistopheles. Other than yeah,
Mephistopheles.
then that's just a.
Let's just call it Meph.
That's
Yep. That's a bunch of Flame of the Outer World.
probably a safe thing. We saw a couple of plays earlier that people played a Mephistopheles when they had one on the board, and that was all they had.
Mhm.
And their opponent regretfully informed them that they eat each other, and that surprised people.
Yep.
Yeah, there's, for you guys asking about why he flamed the Outer World, the cats or whatever, it's actually really these control mirrors go back and forth several turns. So if I can drop even just 2 little 1-drops like Brandon has done, and I can beat on you for for 3 or 4 turns, hitting you for 400, it's you run right into split range. You run right into getting just flamed and thundered out. It's
I think a lot of players get used to,
Well,
trends and
yeah,
using
yeah, a lot of
flames
people
on just big things.
Yeah, a lot of people that I've seen so far, and I've seen a lot of games so far, Force of Will, everybody, they want to follow the linear path of, I'm going to play this priest into feasting, into math, with counter backup, and, it's just, that's, no, I'm not saying that's incorrect, it's not, incorrect to play that way, but, there's just other ways. Like I was saying, that's why Force of Will is so in-depth.
Yeah.
There's so many different ways you can play a matchup.
Yeah, it's
And-
important to know if you're losing to a bunch of 2-2s, you sometimes have to flame those 2-2s.
And
And like,
there,
we talked.
Ken just did Judgment with turning Liberator into Scheherazade.
Yeah.
Went through his deck, picked a card. If you notice, he didn't reveal it at all. He just added it to his hand because it doesn't force you to.
Yes.
I
Any
don't
card.
see what he drew though.
Oh,
I
I already know
didn't
exactly what he got. That's a 0. No. He's looking at 1,
You
2, 3,
think?
4, 5.
There
Yeah.
it is.
The simple fact that he can 5 for 1.
Does he have counter magic to back that up?
I don't think so.
Playing a Carmilla. Keeping only 1 stone unrusted.
Did he get the 0 or did he get another Carmilla?
No, I don't see why he would search for Carmilla.
I don't see the 0.
Unless he's
It's
wise
there's a
beyond our
lot of
years.
darkness in Ken
Yeah.
Ken's hand.
Okay.
It looks like he's holding an Exceed. It's hard to say.
Your turn.
No, they did. Ken is not
okay.
playing
My fault. No, you're fine.
Mephistopheles. They're playing
All right.
zeros. 1
Ken has an
laser,
Astral
3
Ruler
Carmilla.
now. I believe he just flames the
Yep.
Scheherazade.
There's
Scheherazade.
Zeke's, and that's game.
Do you have the creatures on my team?
Yeah.
Let's go there.
Yep.
I'm going to respond to that and thunder the grab. That's good.
Is that enough to keep him alive for a turn?
Pictures also.
Yeah, I think so. 4, 8, 12.
Yeah.
I see it. 4, 8, 12, 14 right now.
Okay, so he's gonna go to 1500.
Yeah. 4, 8, 12. He can,
That was
he can J
before
act,
untap.
He can J activate.
Get another one.
Well, he can. Yeah. It's close. Like it's.
3.
Well, no, he has Bind to Gravity in hand. Brandon. So he may Bind to Gravity, and they might be able to get the extra damages. So it's 4, 8, 12, 14. Plays Bind to Gravity.
You can untap
16,
it once.
20,
6.
24. That's how much. That's max you can do right now. If he
Well,
has
he
Bind
can
to
only
Gravity.
untap 1 time with Bind of Gravity.
Oh, is it only 1 time? I
Because
thought
he
it
has
was
to
more.
cast it and untap. Or is it 2 colorless?
It's 3 colorless.
3
Oh, it's
colorless.
3 colorless. Okay, I thought
Yeah.
it was black or darkness.
So
Yeah,
after
it's 3 straight
Zeke's
colors.
he'd be able to do it twice. But that's an all-out play, and I don't think Brandon's going to bother with an all-out. He's going to
Nah.
just ping it down.
He's gonna chip him down. That's 14.
If you
He's gonna
could do
drop
the
for
math
16.
and he's completely tapped out, if you could do the math, I would.
Yeah, if you can go
Yeah.
for game in this position,
You absolutely
you
do.
snap go for game.
He can't do
'Cause it's-
anything. He has an Astral Ruler.
Yeah.
Which also means now Ken's 1001 stories are
Yep.
turned off.
And at this point, even if Ken does have a 0, the damage has been done. Like he's at 1500. Like it just takes.
And
you
he's
see his
holding.
hand.
Looks like he's holding 2 Mephistopheles.
Yeah. So it's like all it takes is him to draw any flames, and then he can deactivate his own Scheherazade and get the last one, and then just the game's over. So
Yeah.
Well, now when I played against Brandon earlier with the same deck that Ken's playing, he ended up taking out the Mephistopheles for game 2. I'm curious to see if he does the same thing here.
Mephistopheles at the table.
Were you playing a very similar? Or
Exact same list, card for card. Yeah.
Kitty Cat gets eaten here. Yeah, I don't see Ken pulling out this one unless.
Oh.
Okay, so you guys are playing 0, but
Yes.
you're not playing Void Blast.
It's too expensive. The deck is already so heavy on 3 drops, and I understand you get to cast it for free, but the probability of that happening is not high enough.
Okay.
Also-
I just figured.
yeah.
I just figured I'd ask with the whole running zeros.
Just the 3-drop saturation in the deck is
Yep.
so high to begin with.
So let's see, what can
I'm gonna
Ken
pass the turn
possibly?
that effects on the very first round you pass prior to draw. Yeah. Okay. Do you have anything
He
for
can
the end of this?
Carmilla.
End of my turn?
He's got the 0 in hand now. I see it. It's on the end there.
Yep, there it
Looks
is.
like he's got 2 actually.
Once
Is
we
it
get
2?
this-
It
Oh,
looks
wow.
like he
Before
has
you draw,
2.
before you draw. Gotcha. Is that? Okay. Okay. Just make Make sure we're on the up and up.
So he's got. He keeps saying that. Make sure we're
I
on the
heard
up
that
and up.
all day long.
Uh,
And there's
So
the
he's
0.
got the 0 with an exceed to back it up if he needs
Here
to.
comes a
I'm pretty sure they're about to just
Counter war.
get straight up. No, they're gonna get banished. He's banishing some kitties since they're about to die anyway.
target 0. Okay. So that resolves. Just. Thank you. Target 0. You got it. 4 stone shrug. That's correct. All right.
So that was before his draw, so he does have that aura of -2/-2 for an entire turn. Ah.
So he takes 500. Just goes to 1,000.
Counters the kick
What's this?
zone just to put the Mephistophelies on top of the deck. He's searching hand, unless he doesn't have an Astro Ruler.
Wait,
and-
wait, 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 what are they doing? What are they doing?
Are we sure that he has an Astro Ruler though?
Ooh.
I thought that it was flames, but I could be wrong.
We need to check because
Yeah, we need
1
to
second.
check.
yeah, we need to check that because if that's an Astro Ruler, then
Game's over, isn't it? For looking at cards in hand.
yeah, I think he just
Yes.
okay.
Oh Jesus.
They did realize it. It's an
Well.
Astro Ruler. I believe Brandon laid his hand down, so that's kind of both players missing.
We didn't go into his deck. If that's worth anything.
Oh, Ken's upset right now. This is the second time he's made this mistake today. It's an easy one to make, yeah.
So did he just scoop? What-
Well, Brandon laid his hand down. He didn't really give Ken the
I mean,
opportunity to take the
right?
cards from
He
him,
just
per
dumped his
se.
hand. I mean.
Yeah, see, he's saying that.
Yeah.
So I think it's kind of both players.
Yeah. The Astral Ruler. Yeah. Subtype. Yep. Something you can put on it. Yeah. Little astral token to put on it or something. Yeah.
Okay, so the way this is gonna work out, his hand and his whatchamacallit's already been put into his deck. So what's going to happen is we will be
Yeah,
going
I
to
didn't
game.
catch it any better
We'll
than
be
you
going to
did.
game 2. So go ahead and Tyler. I mean Matt, come here.
Okay. Sure.
Okay, so what's gonna wind up? Okay, so hold on.
I had, if this is at all relevant, I resolved a stories earlier in the game, so I didn't gain information about his deck by him revealing his hand. I already knew what cards were in his deck.
Okay, we would undo actions to as far back as we can to the part where you played it.
Okay.
Place the card where it's supposed to go,
Okay.
and from there keep playing.
Okay.
You're both. You have a AG1.
Okay.
I don't know if you've gotten any yet. We'll
I've
try.
gotten no warnings today.
Okay, and you're gonna have AG4 for this, like not noticing the trigger as it's happening to.
Okay.
So you have to be aware of this, just like.
Absolutely.
Correct. So it's a warning for each of you.
Okay.
We'll reset. Keep it.
Okay. You got that game. I mean, the necro happened. Yeah. The reset is let's go to game 2.
There we go,
Save on
guys.
time, 70 minutes.
All right.
Yeah, it looks like-
Yes, a game error warning was given to Ken for misplaying the card because Brandon also responded and resolved as if the card was being played the wrong way, but he should have known better. He was
Yeah,
giving
it's
a
fine.
failure to maintain game state. We just rewound a little bit,
Yeah, no,
and
it's fine.
Ken decided that
Yeah.
it didn't matter. He had the game, so we'll just go to game 2.
I think that's a smart call.
Well, Brandon was J-activating to get Necronomicon. And he
Yeah.
was just going to double thunder.
Yeah, it was there anyway, but
There's only 37 minutes left on the clock, so I would do the same thing, scoop and just
Yeah.
go to the next one to save on time.
Fantastic fun.
Interesting difference between Forcible and other TCGs is that the top 8 does have a time limit.
yes.
Yep.
Sorry.
No problem. I didn't catch it. As you said.
Yeah.
Is the change
Both
that-
players seem apologetic.
That's pretty recent too. Yeah, it's quite
Yeah.
recent.
To be fair, it has been 12 hours now
Yeah.
of
Yeah,
straight
well,
playing.
Yeah, 12 hours for these guys. Yeah.
Oh,
Well, it's
for
not.
these
It's
guys.
not so much that he scooped. It's just he was tapped out. Brandon was literally recovering everything because it was during his draw step. Brandon was going to just J-activate Search Necronomicon, and then just double Thunder Ken out of the game. So he was already at 1,000, so there's nothing Ken could have done anyway.
Yeah,
So the
I was
kids at
kinda-
home.
I was
That's my bad.
beginning to go through the motions.
This
And
is
on
the
the-
part where Ken's wondering if we caught it on stream or not. He's always watching stream at home. They missed that play.
One of the things is we noticed as the games went on, the people were getting quicker because they would recognize when their opponent had them, and they
Yeah.
would just go to the next game. That's actually one of the things that, as a player, when you recognize it, and as a better player, you recognize when you just don't have the game, but you don't want to waste time on the clock. You just go ahead and go to it and try and get game
Well, I
two.
mean, I think that's one thing that a lot of control players don't even realize. Like, there's a lot of incremental advantage that you gain in the control mirror, and then it gets to the point to where once you gain so much incremental advantage, you bury your opponent,
Yeah.
and there's just no coming back. And a lot of players are like, "Oh, doesn't matter. I'm gonna keep playing, even though I know you're probably gonna win this game. I'm gonna drag it out for another 10, 15 minutes."
And that's how you get all the
And-
draws,
yeah,
round
that's-
after round after round.
That fight is admirable, but it's also time consuming, and if you're going to lose the game, you're going to lose it and not have time to win the next
Exactly.
one
Exactly.
to get in.
There's little intricacies of tournament play that are just as important, keeping track of what the time is, keeping track of cards in hand, things like that.
It's
We've got some players playing Pack War in the background there.
you hit the table,
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, kids at home.
or is it that table that got hit?
Oh,
That
it
was that table that got hit over there.
How in the hell did it get hit?
Tyler.
Oh Jesus, Tyler.
Tyler.
Okay, so it's not so much. Okay, guys, it's not so much that he misplayed. It was the fact that both players forgot that once your J ruler dies, it becomes an Astral ruler. So the way 1,000 Word Stories reads is, when it's an Astral ruler, you don't get the removal effect. You can only put it on top of the opponent's library. But yeah, he scooped. So it's, I mean,
It's yeah.
the writing was on the wall. He was completely tapped out. Brandon had 10 mana, and the game was over. He hasn't J-activated yet.
Now,
so.
do both rulers, not both rulers, do both players get that game warning carried into the next game if
Yes.
the same thing happens?
Yes,
Yeah.
because it is both players' responsibility to make sure that the game state is correct at all times. So we might want to fix the yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Sure, thank you.
Oh my God, my OCD is kicking in. I need
The
this.
crooked
Yes,
playmats, yeah.
it is. I need it fixed.
Just drop out of the last game, I think.
33 minutes and
33
40
minutes and 43 seconds left on the clock.
Against your, cards in
Fix
hand,
the
not your
camera.
cards in play.
Thanks.
I didn't draw anything that I really wanted to see, and
I have not mastered this control mirror. Unfortunately.
Yeah, Ken had a very interesting hand that game with the 4 Flame of the Outer World.
Yeah.
I needed to see
I think
better pro
Now,
plays.
I hear Brandon saying he hasn't had a control mirror all day, which I find surprising, but
I mean
it happens.
Yeah.
Hey man, I've played in many tournaments where I sat there and just played against one deck
Yeah.
the entire tournament.
I
That happens a
wonder-
lot in Magic.
I wonder if Brandon doesn't recognize that Ken's playing the same deck that I played with him round 2. I will say
I
that
will
when-
say you play it differently than he does.
Oh, much differently. That's why I'm 65th and not top 8. But Brandon played very, very well against me
Okay,
and
so-
didn't give me much time to
So
show many
looking
cards in hand.
looking at these the sideboards. Okay, so Ken has 2 Death Sinners from the Queens, 3 Robe of the Fire Rats, 1 Christie, another 0, which I'm pretty sure is going to come in, 3 Elvish Bowmen, 1 Blazer, 3 Serenity of Death, and a Slipper of Cinderella.
I could definitely
The
see the slippers
slippers.
coming in. Probably
I can see the
Stoning to
0,
Death.
the Slippers,
Oh, 0
the
for
Stoners.
sure.
Yeah.
Um,
So what is
probably? Because that's a great answer to Mephistopheles if you have nothing else.
Stoning to Death? Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Ready?
I actually think in this matchup he might take out maybe like 1 cat just because Stoning to Death kills more things than just a cat does.
Now Brandon has some pretty interesting sideboard tech. I mean, he has 3 Rapid Decays, 1 Absolute Cake Zone, 4 Vampire Staff, which I'm pretty sure is for the
The long control
the
meta.
long control meta, and you just keep revealing and gaining life and draining damage. And you have 2 Xyz, another Flame of the Outer World, 3 Bloody Mood, and 1 Stories, an extra 1,001 Stories. So it's this is going to be interesting. It's if Ken can resolve a 0. it's
If
gonna
he
be
can
pretty
resolve
good.
a Blazer, I think that's pretty
Yeah, it's
very
Well,
solid.
but again, Brandon plays so many jump blockers, Blazer stops having a ton of relevance.
But if he
Well,
plays
he
Blazer
does,
and then
but-
follows up with 0, that's really powerful.
That will be the play that
Yeah.
would make the game.
The only thing that I'm possibly seeing maybe an issue is Brandon does have the he has the Grettles. Like the Gretel right now already, it's already put him ahead. So he's made up the discrepancy for being on the draw this turn.
And the Thunder on the Laura.
Yep.
Well, that's very similar to the last game.
Anyone happen to note which lands they went and searched for? Looks like Ken got the black-red again.
That's probably the way that works.
I think
Alright, so Ken
Black-
takes 2.
Sure.
is it a black blue?
There's a vampire staff.
Oh.
I so love this card.
Before NPR came out, I was running Abdul as a Fire, Water, Darkness, and Vampire Staff was staple for it because it was just, as you're killing everything they've got, you can swing for 4, throw some slippers on it, swing for 1,000.
Looks like Ken's gonna flame that vampire staff. Yep.
Yeah.
Had to handle that.
Was it La Vampire? I forget that I haven't spoken other languages in forever. So we're already up to 5. Attack for 2. Ken drops at 36. Pretty sure we're not going to see. Wow, that's a lot of reactionary stuff from Brandon. Looks like what triple or double cake zone exceed into a couple of. Well, look, maybe one thread of Feasting, I think. Nope, Zeke's. Zeke's exceed, cake zone,
That's a
cake
lot
zone,
of
cake
thunder,
zone.
isn't it?
Ken's got an Exceed. Can't really tell what else.
I think he's got several thunder there. I can't tell.
Looks like a lot of. Looks like a lot of Feasting. Looks like he's got 3 Feasting in hand.
Is it?
That's what it looks like. Lots of cake zones on Brandon's side. Looks like he's got 203 Feasting.
Is that on the left side of his hand? Is
Yeah.
that all feasting?
That's what that looks like. That's a lot of
Another
quick
200.
pass. That's a lot of instant speed.
Those of our
Oh, there's
viewers
another
who are
Laura.
still awake. Yeah, I'm still swinging.
So he drew.
Before I unrest, I'll flush in 0.
The elegant before I unrest play.
Yeah, he'll see.
I love the word unrest too. I actually went through the whole tournament, didn't hear the word recover once. I was a little surprised.
Oh, that is the proper word, isn't it?
People will use what they're used to.
I'm pretty sure we have a Laura play here, right? What else does he have in his hand? It's hard to see.
He's got a lot of instant
I think
speed
he has a lot of
spells.
options. Yeah.
Oh, he's playing an Elvish Bowman? Is that what that is?
Yeah. I think he's just putting the Bowmans in because he wants.
Necronomicon to not be a thing.
Not necessarily that. Bowman
Well,
is
that-
300,
It's
300.
a 300, 300, a bunch of board,
200,
bunch of
200s.
wings.
But it dies to the cat.
But the cat ends up dying as well, so I guess
Yeah.
he kind of does his job.
It's a fair trade, I guess.
It's good in this sense
Like,
that he
I mean,
doesn't
because
have.
this right here literally just brick walls the Gretel from
No.
poking.
Oh,
and poking
there's
and
the
poking and
cat.
poking.
He just drew it. Had a handful of counter spells. Now he's got a dude.
Well, what a helpful player.
The table got
Yeah.
bumped, is what happened. One of the other judges who was sitting down got up and bumped the table, and it skewed the camera. So we'll fix it in a little bit, but as of right now, we just we don't want to mess up these guys, their focus, and their.
Interesting.
Oh, of course he blocks.
Sack in response.
Sack and
Yep.
response.
So it kind of
Take 200.
Another interesting thing in Force Civil, how even if it's blocked, the
Mhm.
damage still goes through.
Yeah, we brought that up a little while ago.
Okay.
So it's a lot of people on camera completely forgot about removing the blockers and then pushing damage through.
Cast this guy.
So, well, geez, did the other match already finish?
Looks like it.
Wow.
Who got it?
So who's our first finalist? Andy Tam? Is it Andy Tam or is it St. John?
The Abdul player?
Yes.
Abdul in finals.
Wow, we have our first finalist, Andy Tam. Andy was playing
Wait,
Abdul.
Wait. Is this Andy or it's St. John?
No, it is Andy Tam. Yeah, that is Andy. And no, he's playing Pandora the Dark.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the guy that was facing that guy is not Andy Tam. It's St. John Michaels.
St. John Mullins?
Or St. John Mullins. Sorry, I don't know why I was calling
Yeah,
him
the,
Mullins.
he was.
Okay, so Pandora. I mean, Pandora got beat by Abdul.
Let's recover everything. You got it.
Novel new concept.
He goes by Taylor Norris. It's not his legal name. He doesn't like his first name, and he's working on getting his legal name changed. His last name changed.
Taylor
He goes by
Norris.
Taylor
Well,
Norris.
okay.
So on Facebook, Taylor Norris.
So his name is
Oh.
St. John, but he goes by Taylor Norris.
Okay.
So if people know him from the Facebook group, they'll
Oh,
be
goes.
able
Okay,
to
well, good.
know who he is.
Taylor Norris from the Facebook group is going to Japan,
And he is playing Abdul.
and he's playing Abdul.
Heavy hitter.
And, well, his side was Pandora Dark, so perhaps he saw the mirror and just went for it.
And the Pandora Dark Side was Abdul. Look at that.
They work so well together.
Mhm. It's interesting to think what makes one player choose one as their main ruler over the other.
I'm very impressed in your inability
I don't know. For me, for Abdul, it was always the love of the Cthulhu theme in the first place.
You're about to be as disappointed as my father.
Yep. So one Abdul will be in the finals, and then it'll either be basically it's going to be Scheherazade versus Abdul,
Yeah.
and then
The question is,
So-
it control Scheherazade or
Looks like Canada's put out Scheherazade again. Is it? No.
No.
She's still on Liberator.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
yeah,
still
it's still Liberator.
he just used the Grus Ballesta to kill the opposing Gretel?
Okay. What just got put in?
It's got cat,
Cat.
another cat in hand, still holding all those cake zones.
Well, I mean, he can dump Cat for going for a Mephistopheles.
Yeah.
No, I mean
But-
at least the Gretel's gone, so he's not trying.
Yeah. I don't think people actually get how much removing the Gretel, the Featsing, and the Elvish Priest matters to a control
He goes to
player.
Mephistopheles, and Brandon's in one very, very nice position to protect this Mephistopheles.
It's got enough stones up for double cake zone. Are those still
I have
3
other
Feastings in hand, or is that
I don't
something
want to exit
else?
that phase.
Okay,
So
so-
I
feel like he would have cast it
I'll
by
let that trigger
now.
resolve, but then I'm still gonna.
Okay.
So wait,
From here, it kind of looks like Kai, but we know that's not what it is.
I actually can't tell if that's the art is being lost in the glare of the card right now.
for which card?
Like, it seems like it's reflecting
I think
his
it is
thumb.
Feasting, because there's one missing now.
Yeah,
he
no,
just
it's
cast a
Feasting.
Feasting. Yeah.
So why isn't he putting it down? Is he worried about the 1001 removing his hand?
Okay.
That's very possible.
Flush
Oh,
it
Oh,
here's
there's
another
one.
one. I think he... Oh, well, he does
Or
have the
he's
six.
using it to protect against
Style
Mephistopheles.
points or safe play? I don't know, man.
Style points or safe play.
Safe way, target your other feats.
So Andy is playing Pandora the Dark, so that'll be an interesting matchup.
This is still on the chase.
Are either of the decks playing Glinda?
Okay.
I've always wondered why, like, a lot of people tend to move
my
away
turn.
from
Then
having
just
Glinda.
trigger.
I think
Shuffle
as a
that
5/5.
We originally
Green
had
unblockable.
2 in the list, and it just was too clunky. Didn't really... It kind of gives your opponent the opportunity to handle it as they see fit. You never really get the sack off with it. The sacrifice.
Alright, so we
Yeah,
did-
no.
A good player. My ruler is not astral.
Did you hear? I'm a good player. My ruler is not astral.
Does he have it?
Ken's got enough
If
stones
he
up to double
1001s through, is he getting rid of Mephistopheles for good here?
if it resolves. Cake zone on the chase right now. He has an exceed in
has?
hand.
He's in the
Yeah.
cave.
Oh, he's got a cake. Oh, all right. Yep. And
So
Brandon's
creating-
out of stones, so
Yep. And then there goes Mephistopheles.
which is probably a big move for Ken right
Oh,
here.
Ken lose 25, lost 2,500 by the way.
2001. Really?
Yeah.
He lost
Yeah.
5. Is it 25?
He's at 25.
Mine's almost like mine last game. Jeez.
That's another interesting ruling we had a lot of today was the fact that
get that thing out of here.
when you flame to the outer world targeting Mephistopheles, you still take the trigger because it's not put there by a player.
Yes.
A lot of people were surprised by that one.
Meth did 500, yeah. Gretel for MVP, right? Okay. 5 cards written down. After that, I guess you shuffle or cut, or I don't know how this works.
Got 21 minutes left.
As long as we're doing it consistently.
I think that I just do this, right? Yep. And I just, come on.
Yeah. That's what
There we go. Stay down there. I'm actually going to pass. Okay.
Leaving 4 stones up.
5 technically with.
Yes, with the feasting on his
5
turn.
potential mana.
I think because he should have another feasting in hand, and because he wants to let his opponent know that anything he does now.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a mind gaming control
yeah.
as well.
Ken's only got 1 hard counter spell in hand, but
Glad I asked.
he's kind of showing 2 with the cake and exceed. Or a double cake.
Okay.
I believe when he played the feast thing, it was in he targeted Gretel in response
When he
to
cast,
the.
he targeted his own feasting.
Okay.
The first one he targeted itself, and then I think the second
Okay.
one he targeted the same one.
In fact, they were joking about
Yeah, that's
that
when
being
he
the
said.
safe play.
That's when he said good player style points. I had to do that myself a couple times when Mephisto was on the board.
Meph does work if left unchecked. I'm wondering, did you see how many copies were pulled out?
I think 1. It looks like there's only 1 on the side there.
Which meant either
He took 1 out.
Brandon.
Well, Brandon only runs 2.
Yeah.
So he
So it's
sided
either
1
2,
out.
It's either 1 on top of the other, or it's just
Oh,
or it's just 1 period.
it's hard to tell with those beautiful yellow sleeves.
The flame. Let's see if he can. Yep.
I will make green will.
So that interaction also is something
Yes,
people don't
I
see
was
a
gonna
lot.
say, making will does not use the chase.
Which means that if you get flamed, there's no negative to bothering with that.
Flames on feasting or flames on an elvish priest, you can respond and add will to the chase. Well, not to the chase, but to your pool.
Yes. And isn't there a card coming out that'll allow you to rest 2 elves for a will now? Or an elf for a will? It's going to have the same type of interaction if you want it.
Oh, here we go.
I think that's
Not
kind of
looking-
traditional in most TCGs.
Not looking good for Ken here.
Oh, wow.
What is that? That is quite a glare.
Feasting for feasting?
Oh.
Yep.
Ken's only got 2 stones.
Yeah, no pass.
Alright.
Yeah, Brandon's aggro version of Scheherazade is kind of small aggro. It's kind of interesting. I think I'd like to see a build like that used more light and tried to use Saints and March of Saints.
That might
with
be a lot
protection.
more viable once Millennium of Ages comes out.
Oh yes, especially once
Oh,
we
yes.
get the new Joan of Arc Resonator that's a 1-drop Saint. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
Green. You got it.
everyone thought Split Heaven and Earth defined a meta. This is going to be monolight Saint is going to be a thing.
White Weenie's got a lot of support. Mm-hmm. Very excited about that.
And their Anthem card, the Castle, doubles as an addition removal for when you have to deal with things.
Yes.
It's a beautiful thing.
So it still has answers to things like Necronomicon, or is
And-
it only edition field, or is it any edition?
No, it's additions.
So
Any
like
edition.
Crucifix, Ragnarex.
Or even the Bind of Gravity on something important that
Yeah,
you're trying to
Bind of
attack with.
Gravity.
Yeah, he's out of stones.
Another thing I'm interested that a lot of people don't play, because there isn't a lot of addition removal in the format, Yellow Signet, maybe 2 of in
Yellow
a deck.
Sign.
Yeah, Yellow Sign. When you're playing against somebody who you know you're going turn by turn, you make them have to find a way to get rid of their own Resonator.
Yellow Sign was a card I was kind of trying to get in the sideboard for a while. The tricky thing is when it kind of holds you off from attacking as the offense, because then they can just attack into your guy to kill the Yellow Sign.
But
So it's a little tricky.
in a game where you're going to be held off for a while, and
Yeah.
because it lowers the stats, like taking 1 while they take 6 every turn, like
Looks like Ken
Right,
Brandon
right.
might be trying to go for game here.
let's see.
A Vampire Staff, 3 cats.
Cards in hand? 3.
Ken has 2 stones. Oh, that's his turn. He's showing exceed, cake zone, and what's that 4th card name? Is that
It's
Zeke's?
never that.
Cards close to the chest today.
Yeah. We have 16 minutes.
Yeah, and Ken needs to make a play to move to getting to this 3rd game.
Yeah. If it's based on life totals, he does not have the best shot going into game 3.
Oh, no, not at all.
Does he have Thunders inside? Thunders in front?
He
Or-
has Thunders.
What I really don't understand is why not just waste that sideboard slot if you get to this point and just throw Lumia in your side?
Because statistically, your opponent will have a Thunder. Because if you basically you look at your hand and you go, do I have a Thunder? I'll keep it. And then you just ditch everything else.
But that's fine. If you're going into the 3rd game and it goes down to a straight who changes life first, who has higher, your opponent thunders and you respond by resting Lumia, you've got higher life when your Lumia results.
Yeah, but you
game ends.
Yeah, well, you also skip your recovery stuff.
But you've won. If you come to a point where it's a time like this, skipping your recovery doesn't matter because the game ends at the next check for rules process.
Wouldn't you
So
still be
the
at
thunder never
200 less?
happens. If you gain the life from Lumia, when the life is game is resolved, before the thunder resolves, you check to see the end of game. That's how the game works.
I am not following you.
The way it works is it goes off the first life change. So
okay.
if you're playing, you say you're Brandon, you tap Liberator, you get your blasting waves, and you go, all right, thunder you. You have no
You
stones
respond
in
and
play.
gain
You can
300.
respond to them and gain 300.
So the first life change
Yes.
is your 43,
so
he's 40.
So Lumia would resolve first. You would go to 4,300. And
That
the
is
game
a
would be
lot
over.
of speculation, though, thinking that you're going to go all the way to top 8 and all the way to the full 90 minutes, just and takes up a card slot in your sideboard.
That is true.
It's very, very
How
cool,
many
though.
cards in your sideboard do you typically end up using during the event? I haven't seen a lot of people say they use more than half.
I think as the game progresses and more cards are printed,
It'll become more of a...
you'll use more
There's
of your
the one
sideboard.
of
Can't believe all those.
Thagwa,
Yes.
or
Is that how
whatever.
you pronounce it? Thagwa.
Thagwa.
Do we know how big it is right now?
There is a lot of spells. That is
See,
all I know.
And this is something I was been commenting on for like a week or two, why people aren't playing a counter burn Fathagwa deck, because that guy just gets ridiculous.
It gets big.
It's
It's,
pretty big.
it's nice to see somebody actually using the tech.
A very cool play that Ken's deck can do with Fathagwa is flash in a 0 to make Mephistopheles lose flying, and then Fathagwa has the potential to be big enough to kill it. He only needs to be 14-16, and then he'll kill the Mephistopheles.
That's definitely a
Mephistopheles.
trick.
Mephistopheles.
I'll never get that right.
It's all good.
For 10.
There's
Okay, he's 10-12, it sounds like.
Yes, I'll need all his information. Yep. Name, email, address, everything for his ticket.
Alright, so we're at the chump block with Cheshire Cat stage.
There's a 0
0 in response before damage.
and a handful of cake zones.
This game is going long.
Before damage? Okay, they make a 0. Yep. He's already chosen his blocker.
Yeah. It's good.
Okay. Take it.
You should resolve these one at a
It's not going to let you get me flawless victory.
So he should have taken 8 damage there and be at 3,200.
Yes. He is at 3,200.
See, and the bigger danger here is with the Thagwa on the board, unless he's actually removed, which he's now, if he's doing 8, he's a 10 defense. The more counter wars they get into, the worse it gets for Brandon.
Yep. That's why it's very cool in a matchup like this. Ken is J-activating into Scheherazade.
I wonder if he's going to go get 1,001 to remove Thief Sting from the board.
I think he got a. If I wouldn't get anything, I'd get a Flame of the Underworld right here.
Flame of the
Because
Underworld.
he can't respond to it.
Yeah, exactly. Just get the damage in. Oh, he got Blazer.
Oh, Blazer, that works too.
Does he know his hand right now? Does he
Well, I
know?
mean, if he
May not be the way I play this.
he quick cast 0, and he didn't have his Zeeks for it,
Alas, we do not.
so that pretty much telegraphs that he does not have
Yeah.
Magic
a
and
counter
Disease,
for yeah.
He's holding a 1,001 Stories, which doesn't really do much for Blazer here. Just gets more Blazers.
Oh, yeah. Well, it doesn't necessarily get more Blazers because failure to find is an option. You can just remove the one on the board, go look for the others, and if it's not known to the player, so if he's not holding any in his hand, they
Yeah.
don't have to be removed, or if there's none in the grave, they don't have to be removed. As you search through your
I wonder
opponent's
if
deck.
Brandon knows that's an option for him here.
Oh, that is
In the top 8, we must have a winner. There is no draw.
Can you choose the first option even if you have Scheherazade?
No, stories
you
is
have
actually
to resolve.
Yes. Stories is one of the ones that doesn't give you an option. You resolve it separately depending. That being said,
Yes, top 8 is an hour.
1 second.
He's, looks like we've got a Storiesed Cthulhu there, right? Is that what happened?
Yeah, and then you get Exceeds, or Exceed, I believe.
Ken only has one card in hand as Exceed.
Cut it now. I don't-
Finals do have a time limit in this World Grand Prix.
Even if it's wrong, we've done it wrong every single time.
It is a fair and agreeable way. We'll look it up later.
Even the finals have a 60-minute timer.
All right, Ken now has an Astral Wheel. Let's see if he remembers this time.
Thank you.
Yes, it is first blood after time. As well, it's
No,
but it's
it-
life total.
If it goes to turns, it's life total. If
Yep.
they finish the game before time and go to a second one, it would become
Drew. Makes sense.
first blood.
For some reason, it
I'm
felt like
pretty
it was
sure
so-
we're gonna see a J activate into
So much end step.
Necronomicon. I think that's the only thing you can possibly
There's
get
absurd amounts
when
of
he's
life.
tapped out.
He's got a huge
I mean,
graveyard.
to be honest, I mean, if he had, this is where I'd be like, split, we kill each other. This game never happened.
Yeah.
Win it 1-0. Right?
No.
If he goes for
finals they were never supposed to be 90 minutes. You can run them in the CR. It's running. You can run. It says to run that, but the thing is, it's like since the convention center is like, hey, you have till 12, and we're kicking you out. So you know what that means? We run 60-minute top 8. We have no choice. This has to be done in one day.
He did get the Necronomicon.
Yep. Yeah, it's his only play.
Yeah.
Now, the real question is, does his graveyard get Zeeks? Do you run Zeeks?
You know, we don't, and I was a very, very strong advocate for it. Ken's like, oh no, we have enough counter magic, but that's not why I wanted to play it. I wanted to play it for shuffling in the graveyard. And also in the control mirror, if you need to, you can make your blazers slightly bigger than their blazers.
well,
things like that.
I mean, here it is. We have.
No necro.
So is he removing his hand from the game? Is that what that
Yeah,
is?
he has to.
All right, so it is Ken's turn.
Well, Brandon's tapped out, and take it easy, man. I'm gonna be at the hotel later. We're gonna drink it up. Tag with Blazer. Yep.
That play was on the board too.
Yep. Take 1100.
But he kind of has to.
Yep. He has no
upgrade.
choice. He has no choice at this point.
Ken has two
been blocked.
counters in hand.
Yep. And Exceed and Cake Zone.
Looks like Ken's exhausted his stone deck here.
There's a feasting. So that's a feasting. Wow, this may actually be rough. That may be game. I think it's Yep, I think this is game.
Game 4.
No. I think this is actually just going to be game
For who?
for Brandon, because he has a feasting.
Where did he get all those cards from? Oh, did he draw you with
He drew you with
Liberator?
Scheherazade. Yeah.
Or with Scheherazade.
He has more blockers. He has a thunder. He has a flames. So that oh geez, he's got blockers for days.
Yes,
Ken top decking at 0 here would be pretty good.
Thunder,
I guess we
Thunder
know
0.
which book Scheherazade's
Yeah,
reading
Thunder.
out her stories
Yep,
out
he's
of
gonna
today.
go for it.
Necronomicon is
Here we
the
go.
thing.
So Ken's at 2,000.
Yep, Ken's at 2000. I think we might see him push for game here. There's 1 Zeeks, 2 Zeeks. He's counting the Zeeks.
He
close,
he
but-
knows that Ken is holding an Exceed from that 1001 Stories, and I guess he's still gonna push for it.
I really don't think. I mean, at this point, I don't think he has a choice. But
Well, he definitely
What
has to
does
put
he get?
blockers out anyway.
yeah.
So he may just be considering the Zeeks for next turn.
Oh, staff came out.
Yes, and we'll
Empire
probably
staff.
see a flames. We should see a flames on the
I think
0.
even
during
if he
this turn.
can't make it, I think he's banking on this time happening because he's pulled out staff so he can start gaining the life over on.
Mhm.
Even if he has to chump block his way to it.
So
Pass. Okay.
yep. Start at 13. Oh,
Ken's got a Flames. That's good for that
that's
Vampire
pretty
staff.
good.
I think he's gonna go for that same trick where he waits to see who the
that-
blocker
this
is.
is where having Necronomicon in your list is really good. Because if Ken had access to his graveyard,
Yeah, the late game Necronomicon is actually control defining.
Yeah, that's the trump card.
I mean,
And-
Dogmoth's will is is broken in Magic for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's got plenty of stones.
and there's the Zeeks.
Not respond. I'm saying okay anymore. Yeah. Oh yeah. 3 stones up. Correct. He had to choose his mode or no?
When did go to
Yes,
Ken go to
place the spell on
13?
second mode.
Yeah.
Should
I'm
he
saying
be at
he's now that he's chosen. I'm saying
2000?
okay to him.
He
kicking
attacked
to
with
the I wasn't saying
Scheherazade.
okay.
Right,
to
right.
Oh,
I
yeah.
was just trying to
I'm
clarify.
making sure.
Yep, I was just trying to
So
clarify.
Zeeks is still on the chase.
Yes, please.
Zeeks is still on the chase. So can we? Yeah, Zeeks, Zeeks
Yeah.
is still on the chase. Thanks.
That's
guys.
if that makes you comfortable.
There's the chase.
Um,
Got 4 minutes and 30 seconds left.
Million things. Yeah.
And that's how it goes with the mirror match.
Yep.
I haven't got a million left to do with.
Where is Andy? Oh, he's over there watching.
Okay. That resolves. So my blocker is a 200. Cast down. Yep.
So what happens if one of the two does win here and they're shuffling up when time happens for game 3?
That's when you go to the game 3 will be a life change.
Each player gets 2 turns,
Oh, okay.
and then after that, it's the first life change. It's if it's during turns, or during if it's in between games. Sadly, I don't think that's going to
No.
happen.
I don't see either of them. Maybe Brandon can pull out here with having access to his whole graveyard.
Well,
Um,
he would have been able
Oh,
to.
that's
but
it.
Yeah,
Mephistopheles
that's
went.
it.
That's it.
23. Scratch.
Staff, Thunder.
Yeah, 'cause he should take 1. Oh no, is it for each colored will? So he's going to take 2, and then Brandon's going to gain 2.
Cards in hand.
So if he's at 11, all he's got to do he has a wow.
Yeah.
so hard
Yeah.
to see with that glare. He has
Well,
a thunder.
there's a thunder there.
Yeah,
he
he's
has
got-
a.
Thank you.
All right, that's it.
So,
That's it. Keep going.
Ken does have counter magic in hand.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
We'll go to.
6.
That does work, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Drat. Yeah, that's enough, man.
Yep,
Congratulations.
that's
It
good.
was a flame, wasn't it?
Yes.
So Brandon gets it 2-0. 2-0.